featured here 2v2 faction battle tournament. This is a semi-final game 1. Judgment of Carrion, blue team. For the Eldar, we have Asmondeus, plays a Warlock, offensive commander with great mobility and awesome disruption. Really good tanking potential too. Alongside, Tyger goes for the Eldar Farseer, support commander that fights in melee combat. Lots of great buffs and some debuffs too. Red team, for the Tyranids, we have Floid as a Hive Tyrant, walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Very good durability, good offense also, and support. Starts off with a basic synapse, breaking everything. And alongside is XPhial's Lictor Alpha melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt. Great offense too. Judgment of Carrion then. VPs running south to north, none of them natural. Looks like the Eldar quickly take north and south. Quite a small 2v2 map, which could help the Tyranids in first engagements because they can all benefit from the Hive Tyrants' basic synapse straight away if they stick together. Warlock getting flesh hooked and losing a bunch of health. There's a Destructor though, and look at the damage it did. Took half of the hit points off of these Termagants, double Termagants for both Tyranid players. Also Spore Mines up for both Tyranid players. Both Eldar players also going for the same build, albeit in different order. Asmon getting Howling Banshees out the gate straight away. Tyger getting Dire Avengers first and then some Howling Banshees. There's the 2-1 for the Eldar. Tyranids blobbing in mid. Eldar splitting up and capping up what they can in the meantime. Quite difficult to hit the natural powers on this map. They're very, very close to base, as you can see. But all the other powers are contested, one in the mid and one south, one north. Spore Mines pushing forward for Floid, basically floating grenades that suppress and damage all nearby units when they detonate, so you need to be careful positioning your Hormagaunts, especially if they follow them into melee. Looks like we're going to have a big engagement brewing here. Tyger backing off, hasn't used his guide yet, the starting ability of the Farseer. Good play. There's a detonation though from the Spore Mines. Thought he was going to be able to wipe them before they detonated. Howling Banshees getting away with just one loss. That was okay. Farseer might not be so lucky though. Caught by Hormagaunts in retreat. Spore Mines are in retreat path to finish her off, and there it is. Should be able to be revived from there. 489, 467. There's the 2-1 cap for the Tyranids now. Held strong in mid, forced off the Eldar, and now they can try and spread out and cap stuff. Double Dire Avengers top. These are Tigers. Shuriken Guardian Weapon team on the field for both Eldar players, and we have Warrior Brood up for Floid. No Toxin sacks yet, been getting his Warrior Brood out as soon as possible recently. 475, 467, 2-1 cap for the Tyranids. We're going to get a slight VP lead here, I would think, although we do have a bunch of Eldar coming south, forcing off that Lictor Alpha. Are we going to see some Rangers to spot the Lictor Alpha, or won't they bother? Dire Avengers now decapping. Howling Banshees take it over. Dire Avengers coming mid. We do have aspect up for Tigers. These guys do not have it though. Increases health by 33%. Gives them plasma grenades. Fleet and that shield used to buff damage by 10% of course, but that was removed very recently, a couple of updates ago. We do have aspect up for Asmon as well on both of his Dire Avengers. Those Spore Mines again scaring off the Eldar. They can be very, very devastating. 443, 467. Here comes a Warrior Brood to flank this Shuriken. There's a flesh hook. The Shuriken, a bit different from other setup teams because you can't target the actual platform itself, so you can't flesh hook the platform or use Hammer of the Witches or anything on it. There's the 2-1 for the Eldar. Warlock runs away. Looks like he revived the Farseer because he's level 2. XPhial might go straight to tier 2 here. 443, 451. Tyranids dominant in the early stages throughout mid. Eldar keeping up with the VPs though, because they're spreading out. There's a plasma grenade, doesn't take, or it does take one model off of those Termagants. What's going on south? The Lictor Alpha still skulking around. Needs to be very careful against Howling Banshees when he's level 1 and doesn't have any war gear. Would like to see Toxin Miasma, or is it Miasma? Whatever it is. Good versus light infantry, I think. Spore Mines are still up for XPhial, and he goes tier 2. Asmon floating tons of requisition, almost 800. No sign of the extended carapace for the Hive Tyrant. No sign of Rending Talons either, which I'm surprised at because you have 2 Howling Banshees on the field. All of this stuff being suppressed, but that's too much for the Shuriken to deal with, and now it's tied up in melee, and here comes those Spore Mines as a grenade, though beautiful grenade. Did that completely wipe the Hormagaunts? No, they do live. Big engagement mid again. 414, 448, the Hive Tyrant in retreat. Warlock in amongst a bunch of stuff, looks like he just used his Destructor. That is Howling Banshees wiped on retreat by Warrior Brood and Hormagaunts of Floid, ouch, and Brood Nest up in a very good position in mid here. 400, 448, 2-to-1 cap for the Tyranids. Howling Banshees down, instantly replaced by Asmon. There's the 2-to-1. Still, power built up in mid by the Eldar. Sorry, by the Tyranids, and taken down by the Eldar. 386, 448. Lictor Alpha now skulking around the north. Shuriken is there. Taking a while to suppress from that range. There we go, finally. Here comes the Warrior Brood. Needs to switch targets. There we go. That is insane damage. Loses the squad. Good grief. Did he use Guide? I think he used Guide on his Dire Avengers. Not sure. Might have been used Guide on the Farseer. Certainly used Doom from this Doombringer. 369, 448 is 2-to-1 cap for the Tyranids heading into tier 2. Tyrant Guard already on the way for XPhial. Here comes a Shuriken in from the north. Nope, backs away again and sets up just behind the shield. Can it suppress these Hormagaunts in time? Yes. Looks like they stopped for a second there. Saw the Howling Banshees and decided not to go in and lose a bunch of health, but only 2 models reinforcing off of the Brood Nest. Shuriken backs off, as do the Banshees, and we have a Capillary Tower up in the mid. Spore Mine drop is this? It is a Spore Mine drop from XPhial. This is global ability of the Lictor Alpha. Tyger either hasn't noticed or doesn't care about his Banshees. Looks like they're just deciding to destroy this power rather than try and steal it in the mid. Very, very difficult to defend that central power, and not sure why the Tyranids decided to build on it. 357, 448. Try and get one of the flank powers and try and build on that. Looks like they're stealing the north, but destroying it at the same time. Farseer level 2 running around with that Doombringer. Warlock has the Immolator, another Capillary Tower going up. XPhial, both from XPhial, only 35 red to get these things on the field, +1 speed for all Tyranid units when out of combat. Though some have said it seems to be affecting units when they are in combat. Let's see if we can spot that happen. 343, 448. There's the Immolate from the Warlock. Damage over time in an area, good area denial and damage, especially to stationary range blobs. Tyrant Guard charging in. Gets up to the Guardian Weapon team, but it retreated. Anyway, here comes XPhial stuff. Messy for those Dire Avengers grenading themselves. But did get a good one on those Hormagaunts. Looks like they will just about get away, and there's a full retreat from Asmon. Warlock tying stuff up with that passive leap of his. 325, 448. Tyranids with the 120 odd VP lead. Howling Banshees taking down the towers, as you must whenever you see them. There's another one up, this one from Floid. You can really fill up a map with them since they're only 35 red. And one other thing I've noticed is that they do not appear on the mini-map. Brood Nest is still up as well, providing some health regen and allowing all of this stuff to reinforce. Another tower going up. Meanwhile, we have power harassed by double Dire Avengers. Well, here comes XPhial and Floid to defend both of these guys with Exarchs, I should say, and their aspects. Wraith Guard for both Eldar players. Floid still hasn't got anything since losing that Warrior Brood. Here comes a Webway Gate. Tyrant Guard skulking around. Another Webway Gate here, and Eldar climb out of it. Shuriken is going to try and set up 2 Webway Gates here for some reason. One of them is the Warlocks, which will allow him to heal this stuff. But Tyrant Guard is just too strong, forces off all of that stuff. These Howling Banshees with aspect of strength, by the way. Dire Avengers now in retreat. Tyrion is looking strong. Aspect of strength also up for Asmon's. Chases off that Hive Tyrant. And a bunch of stuff died in mid. Floyd losing one of his Termagant broods. Those Wraith Guard are scary. The north is blue. 282-445. There's the 2-1 for the Eldar. Wraith Guard need to get back into this webway gate. There we go. He might get all of his stuff out. There we go. 282-438. Howling Banshees there. Wraith Guard there. And Floyd runs away. There's the double. Lictor Alpha doesn't have any war gear. Plasma Grenade. Nicely done on those Fulmigants. Hive Tyrant also doesn't have any war gear. Wraith Guard in retreat. Both of the commanders will give Wraith Sight to their Wraith Guard. This squad has their own Warlock anyway. Tyrant Guard doing some awesome splash damage to those Banshees and scaring them off. Down goes that Capillary Tower. Wraith Guard, good damage to all targets from relatively short range. Area of effect and suppression also. 282-386. There's the triple cap for the Eldar. Have had a couple of very good engagements. Can the Tyranids recover? Tyrant Guard is walking back to base, is he? Yes, very, very slowly, out of synapse range. Again, I've seen this a few times. XPhial getting a Tyrant Guard but not getting any synapse. Relying on towers for a movement speed buff, which of course doesn't work in combat, is very risky. 282-351. Floyd replacing his Warrior Brood, giving them the melee synapse adrenal glands and getting Gene Stealers on the field. Floyd, a big user of Gene Stealers. If they can get in amongst his Wraith Guard, it's going to be very, very painful for them. 282-333, there's the double cap. Kicking off south, I hear. Hive Tyrant, still with no extended carapace with Wraith Guard on the field. That would be awesome to charge in on those guys. Down goes that tower. Is that all of them down now? There might be some near the base. There's one there. You can't really hit towers like that, which makes them very, very annoying to deal with. 282-302. Tons of dead yellow Termagants in mid. Must be about 20 dead there or something. 282-289. There's still the triple. Can the Tyranids push back? Started off well, wiping Banshees, killing a commander. But just some painful losses late in tier 1, early tier 2. Here's the Hive Tyrant. He's still level 1, has no war gear. How much is he really bringing to these engagements right now? Down he goes, in fact. 282-267. Gene Stealers in amongst the Guardian Weapon Team. That is going to be painful, using Adrenal Rush as well. And down it goes in seconds. There's an Autarch drop on retreat path. Slightly too late. Her grenades don't do as much damage as they used to, but now they stun, of course. 282-261. Leaping in amongst all of this stuff. Disruption, a heal, and a buff with that leap. It really is an awesome ability. Here comes the Warlock announcing his arrival with the Destructor. Takes down a Warrior Brood in retreat as well. 282-253. That was an awesome engagement for the Eldar. Can they wipe those Fulmigants? They can. That might be it. But the Tyranids are tier 3. XPhial going for a Swarm Lord. Has played this very strangely, I think. Very little in tier 1. A Tyrant Guard on the field with no synapse support. And then goes tier 3. Here we see the Capillary Tower helping out the Tyrant Guard. Being shot up, which, as I understand it, should stop that speed buff from happening. Not exactly sure what they mean by in combat. I assume taking fire means you're in combat. Should not be getting that speed buff. 282-220 need to be looked at, I think. Here comes a whole bunch of stuff. That was a big volley from the Wraith Guard. Tyrant Guard uses its charge to get away. Also has a self-heal, but that immobilizes it. Wraith Guard have been awesome since they've come to the field. Tyger also has a Wraith Lord with the Shuriken shoulder mounted. 282-193. There's the triple. Down goes the Lictor Alpha. Been disappointed really with the Tyranid commanders in this game. Haven't done a whole lot compared to this Doombringer Farseer level 4. And the Warlock jumping around, dropping Immolators and Destructors left and right. Also has the Warp Throw here. 282-168. Warrior Brood capping their rep point back. There's a double. Going to be difficult for the Tyranids to recover here. They do have a Swarm Lord, but not sure that's going to be enough. Super unit for Tyranids gives a speed buff and a reinforcement synapse. Has vehicle armor, 2000 hit points of it, so it's no slouch and it's tough as well. Also has a self heal, getting stuck on pipes. But here we go. Gives a speed buff to everything as well, including monstrous creatures, which the towers also do, which I think is a bit wonky. Eldar looking very strong mid, a Wraith Lord standing proud alongside Wraithguard, a bunch of Dire Avengers and Howling Banshees. What level are these guys? Level 3 Howling Banshees. This is going to be a very important engagement. Don't think they're going to be able to do that. There's more Eldar stuff coming in. Should have tried to split the Eldar forces. I think they're trying to fight them head on in mid. There's the triple cap. Maybe they have to at this point. 282, 82. Genestealer's now in amongst something. It's the Wraith Lord, I think. They do have their Rending Claws, gives them heavy melee damage. Everything reinforcing off of that Swarm Lord. Genestealer's getting a bit too far away though. They cannot reinforce it off it anymore, and down they go, whacked out by the Wraith Lord and those Banshees, and that Wraithguard getting some shots in. You have double Warrior Broods for Floyd. I think he just called some down, did he? 282, 51. There's the 2-1 Tyranids getting decimated in mid here. Double Wraith Lords from Tyger. Wow. And there is the concede from the Tyranids, Asmon and Tyger's Eldar, taking the first game in this semi-final. It is best of 3, and I will see you in the next game, guys.